They say that the fastest way to lose everything God gave you is to try and prove you have more than everyone else. In the glittering, high-stakes world of uptown Accra, Ghana, there was a woman who didn't just win at life. She wanted to see everyone else bleed while she did it. Her name was Naa Koffi. To the world, she was a goddess of luxury, but to the cosmos, she was a tragedy waiting to happen. She traded a man who would have given his life for her just to chase a ghost covered in gold. And by the time she realized her mistake, she wasn't just broke, she was holding the ashes of a life she could never get back. If you think you've seen Betrayal, wait until you hear what happened when Naa signed a document she never read for a man she thought was royalty. Pull up a chair. This is a modern African tale of pride, poison, and the billionaire who got away.
Naa Koffi did not walk into rooms, she conquered them. She was a top-tier corporate strategist in Accra, brilliant, striking, and completely consumed by a toxic disease, the need to be superior. To Naa, life wasn't a journey to be enjoyed. It was a savage, silent competition. If a friend bought a designer bag, Naa would fly to Dubai the next weekend just to buy the limited edition version. She didn't know how to clap for people. When her friends shared good news, Naa would quietly smile, calculate how to overshadow them, and redirect the entire conversation back to her own achievements. She thought her friends didn't notice, but people aren't blind, they just get tired. Slowly, the laughter in her circle died down whenever she walked in. But Naa didn't care. To her, being liked was for the weak. Being envied, that was power. One night, at an elite gala in the heart of airport residential area, Naa walked in wearing a breathtaking, custom-made Parisian silk dress that had cost her 3 months' salary. Her chin was high, her smile cold. But as she scanned the room, her heart stopped. Across the ballroom, a popular influencer was wearing the exact same dress. The humiliation was instant. The room felt suffocating. Without a word, Naa turned around, walked out, and drove her luxury sedan home in dead silence. The moment she stepped into her penthouse, she ripped the dress off her body, threw it on her marble floor, doused it in lighter fluid, and set it ablaze. Watching the flames consume the expensive fabric, she muttered, "Nobody shares a stage with me." She was trapped in a loop of her own vanity, fighting invisible wars with people who weren't even competing with her.
Yet in the middle of her arrogance, there was Kwame. Kwame had been Naa's shadow for 15 years, since their university days in Legon. He was a quiet tech genius, a man who looked at Naa and didn't see a monster. He saw a deeply insecure woman who used pride as a shield. When the rest of their friend group abandoned her, Kwame defended her. Years ago in school, Naa had embezzled a massive group project fund to finance a lavish birthday party for herself, foolishly believing she could replace it. When the deadline hit and the university threatened expulsion and legal action, Naa panicked. It was Kwame who quietly stepped in. He gave up his entire life savings, money meant for a prestigious, fully funded tech fellowship in Silicon Valley, to pay off her debt and clear her name. He lost his future so she could keep her pride. When Naa found out, her heart softened for a fraction of a second, but showing gratitude felt like submission to her. "You shouldn't have done that," she told him coldly. "I had it under control."
Kwame just smiled. He loved her silently, deeply, and unconditionally. Years passed, and Kwame started his own small tech firm in Accra, working out of a cramped office, developing an advanced cybersecurity and fraud tracking algorithm. He begged Naa, with her elite marketing background, to help him pitch it. She laughed in his face. "Kwame, you are a dreamer. This little app of yours can't fund my lifestyle. Look at my taste. If by some miracle you ever become a billionaire, call me. Until then, get a real job." Kwame's heart broke into a million pieces that night, but he still didn't walk away. He stayed, waiting. Before we reveal the terrifying trap Naa walked into, take a second to hit that subscribe button, turn on notifications, and drop a comment below. Have you ever met someone so blinded by pride that they couldn't see who truly loved them? Tell us your thoughts. Your comments keep this channel alive. Now, back to the story.
The turning point came when one of Naa's closest childhood friends married a real estate mogul. The wedding took over West African social media for weeks. It was decadent. It was legendary. And for Naa, it was absolute torture. The spotlight had moved away from her. The hunger to reclaim her throne began to rot her judgment. She didn't want love anymore. She wanted a weapon. She needed a man who would make her friends look like peasants. Enter Prince Kofi Mensah. She met him at an ultra-exclusive lounge in Labadi. He was the definition of old money royalty. He spoke like a king, dressed in bespoke linen, and threw USD bills around like confetti. He claimed to be the son of a reclusive, billionaire traditional ruler from the Western region. Within 30 minutes, Naa decided this was her savior. They began dating, and Prince Kofi swept her into a world of intoxicating luxury. Private yachts, hidden beach villas, expensive dinners. But there was a catch. Prince Kofi was a serial predator. Women constantly hovered around him, and Naa knew it. Instead of leaving, Naa did what she always did. She competed. She fought the other women by spending more money, dressing more provocatively, and molding herself into the ultimate trophy. Months passed, and the prince made no move to formalize the relationship. Desperate to save face, because she had already bragged to her friends that a royal wedding was coming, Naa made a dangerous choice. She went off her birth control. When she tested positive, Prince Kofi seemed overjoyed. He immediately bought her a luxury SUV, though it was white and she had demanded black. "Don't worry, my queen," he whispered, kissing her forehead. "I'll send it to my private garage to be professionally repainted for you."
Days later, he took her to a breathtaking mansion under construction in East Legon. The neighborhood was home to diplomats and billionaires. An agent met them there, handing over a stack of documents. "It's the deed to the mansion, Naa," Kofi smiled. "I'm putting it in your name for our child. Just sign the legal formalities here, here, and here." Blinded by the glittering interior, intoxicated by the thought of posting this on Instagram to crush her friend's spirits, Naa didn't read a single line. She signed her name with a flourish. That evening, Naa's phone was a war zone of notifications. She had posted the house, the ring, the lifestyle. Amid the thousands of comments, one caught her eye. A fake account with 0 followers wrote, "Husband snatcher, enjoy him while it lasts." Naa rolled her eyes and deleted it. "Jealous haters," she muttered. Just then, her friend Deborah called. "Naa, please, Kwame has been looking for you desperately. He says it's life or death. Call him." Naa hissed in disgust. She dialed Kwame's number, and the moment he picked up, she unleashed venom. "Kwame, are you insane?" she screamed. "Are you so blind that you can't see my level now? I am about to marry a prince. Stop calling me with your broke, pathetic love. Face your lane. I stay there." There was a long, heavy, suffocating silence on the other end of the line. Kwame didn't argue. He didn't raise his voice. He just spoke in a hollow, tired whisper.
I just wanted to tell you something important, Naa. But it's okay. Take care of yourself. The line went dead. It was the last time he would ever call her.
The next morning, Naa woke up to a strange feeling in her stomach. She called Prince Kofi. "The number you are trying to reach is switched off." She tried his second number. Switched off. Panic setting in, she opened her phone to check his social media. His accounts were gone, deleted, as if he never existed. Naa threw on her clothes, drove like a maniac to his rented luxury apartment, only to find the gates locked. A completely different security guard was there. "Prince Kofi? No one lives here by that name. This house belongs to an oil executive who is currently in London." Cold sweat broke out on her skin. She drove straight to the East Legon mansion she had signed for. When she tried to enter, the site supervisor blocked her. Madame, who are you? This house belongs to a foreign investment bank. It was rented out for 3 hours last week for a private commercial shoot. Leave before I call the police. Naa's hands shook so violently she could barely hold her phone. She opened her banking app to check her balances. $0.
Her personal savings, her investment portfolios, her corporate retirement accounts, everything she had spent 15 years building was completely cleared out. It didn't happen overnight. Prince Kofi wasn't royalty. He was a master con artist. Every time he had borrowed her phone to make a quick call, every time he casually asked for her passwords, he was mapping her life. And those documents she signed at the mansion, they weren't property deeds. They were ironclad financial power of attorney forms and digital asset transfer authorizations. She had literally signed away her entire life savings to a ghost. Even the luxury SUV was a rental. There was no garage repainting it. It was gone. Naa collapsed onto the gravel, sobbing hysterically. She went back to her social media, tracking down the fake profile that had called her a husband snatcher. She sent a desperate DM. The reply came an hour later. That man is not a prince. His name is Akwasi. He is a professional fraudster. He abandoned me and our 3 children in Kumasi 5 years ago after stealing my family's land. You are just his latest victim.
In the deepest depths of her shame, Naa remembered Kwame. Kwame, whose app was designed to track digital fraud. Swallowing her immense pride, her chest burning with humiliation, she called him. He picked up on the first ring. "Kwame," she sobbed, her voice cracking into pieces. "He took everything. I'm ruined." Kwame didn't mock her. He didn't say, "I told you so." He quietly asked her to send over the documents and IP logs. Hours later, he called back, explaining that the money had already been laundered through untraceable crypto wallets. The loss was absolute. Then Kwame paused. "Naa, the night I called you repeatedly, the night you told me to stay in my lane, I wanted to tell you that a major tech conglomerate in Silicon Valley bought my cybersecurity algorithm. The deal closed for $14 million. I wanted you to be the first to know, because despite everything, I wanted to share it with you."
Naa closed her eyes, the pain so sharp she felt her breath leave her body. The man she had belittled, the man she had called broke, was now a multi-millionaire, and the man she had chased for status had left her in the dirt. But the universe wasn't done with Naa. The stress and psychological trauma of the fraud took a heavy toll on her body. Months later, during a premature and agonizing labor, the baby she had tried to use as a pawn to secure a fake crown did not survive.
When the doctor broke the news, Naa didn't scream. She just stared at the white ceiling of the hospital room, a shell of a woman whose soul had already died. A year later, Naa was living in a small rented room on the outskirts of the city, working a low-paying job, completely stripped of her arrogance. One evening, she saw a feature in a business magazine. There was Kwame, looking sharp, confident, and genuinely happy. Next to him was a woman. Not a woman who dressed in Paris silk or demanded diamonds, but the quiet assistant who had believed in Kwame when he was working out of a cramped, sweaty office. A woman who loved him when he had nothing. Naa closed the magazine and wept in the dark. She had spent her entire life trying to prove she was above everyone else, only to realize too late that she had traded a diamond for a piece of broken glass. Pride will make you look down on the very people who were sent to save you. It will make you chase the illusion of power while you walk right past genuine love and peace. Naa lost her money, her child, and the one man who would have moved mountains for her, all because she wanted to win a competition that existed only in her mind. Don't let vanity blind you to the blessings already in your hands. If this story touched your heart, share it with someone who needs to hear it today.
Don't forget to like, subscribe, and leave your final thoughts in the comments below. Until the next tale, guard your heart and walk with wisdom.